For the longest time, we've had this one big image for how we learn, the tree of knowledge, right? It has deep roots, a solid trunk, and all these branches. But what if that picture, as classic as it is actually holding us back? Well, today we're going to challenge that old metaphor and explore a totally different and maybe much more useful map for learning in the world we live in now.
Okay, so let's just put these two models right next to each other. On one side, you've got the tree of knowledge we all know. It's hierarchical, you start at the bottom, follow a set path up, it's all very neat, tidy, and centered around one main trunk. But then you have this other thing, the rhizome network. And honestly, this is a total game changer. It's a web. There's no real beginning or end, there are tons of different ways to get from point to point, and there's no single center. It's less like a big, rigid tree and way more like a huge, interconnected root system for a field of grass where everything is connected to everything else just under the surface.
So, first up, let's stick with what's familiar for a second. We're talking about that old-school tree, the way we usually picture knowledge.
I mean, this is basically the foundation of most school systems, right? You take the intro class, then you move to the 200 level, then the 300 level. It's a straight line, a predictable ladder that we're all taught to climb, one rung at a time. And yeah, it gives us a clear path. But here's the big question this whole new idea asks. Is that rigid ladder really the best way to navigate the messy, complicated, and super connected world we actually live in today?
And that's exactly where this new metaphor comes in, thanks to the philosophers Deleuze and Guattari. Let's talk about the rhizome.
So here it is, the big idea. Forget the tree, seriously. I want you to picture something more like a clump of ginger root, or maybe a massive underground network of mushrooms. A rhizome is a system that you can plug into from literally anywhere. It has no center, and it can grow in all directions at once. In this model, learning stops being about climbing that ladder. Instead, it becomes about getting really good at navigating a web and making your own connections as you go.
And I think this quote just nails the whole vibe of it. This isn't about just following a syllabus anymore. It's a complete change in mindset. It's about becoming a nomad, exploring a huge landscape of knowledge. You're the one drawing the map, following your curiosity down interesting rabbit holes, and finding all these cool, unexpected connections along the way.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds kinda chaotic, right? A world without rules? But there's actually a really cool framework behind it all. It's built on a few core principles that give this whole idea some structure.
And this is where it gets really interesting, how this big idea breaks down into 6 principles. First, connection and heterogeneous, which are all about linking different things together, because there's no single right way. Then there's multiplicity, which just means learning can branch off in a million different directions. Then you get this one, asignifying rupture. It's a fancy term, but it basically means that aha moment when a new connection creates a clean break and starts a totally new line of thinking. Cartography might be my favorite. It's about making your own map of what you're learning, not just following someone else's. And last, decalcomania, which is about avoiding just tracing or copying ideas and instead always adding to and changing the map as you explore it.
So look, I get it. This can all sound a bit abstract, a little theoretical. But the thing is, this isn't just theory. Once you start looking for it, you see this rhizome thing happening everywhere, out in the wild.
I mean, just look at education. Think about a bunch of first-year students in a WhatsApp group, helping each other figure stuff out at midnight. They aren't waiting for a professor. They're building their own informal, super responsive learning network. Or picture this, a group of kids exploring a forest, and the way their curiosity just spontaneously connects a weird bug to a certain kind of leaf, to the smell of the dirt. That right there? That's pure rhizomatic learning.
And this goes so far beyond the classroom. It's not just an academic thing, not at all. Doctors use this exact kind of networked thinking all the time, connecting seemingly random symptoms to crack a really tough diagnosis. You see it with teachers on Twitter who've created this massive flat global network to share ideas and just get better at their jobs. In every single one of these cases, people are building knowledge together, completely outside of any formal top-down system.
So, when you see all these examples in action, what's the big takeaway here? How should this actually change the way we think about our own learning?
Well, the big shift is this. We need to move away from looking for a single correct path up a tree. We need to embrace the messy, connected, creative process of building our own understanding. The goal isn't to master one branch before you're allowed to move to the next. The goal is to become a really skilled navigator of this huge, always changing network of information and to find your own, totally unique way through it all.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Where is the rhizome in your own life? Seriously, think about it. The online communities you're in,
The hobbies you got into by watching one video that led to another and another, or the group chats where you and your friends solve problems together. Any place where you're learning without a syllabus, without a clear start or finish, that's your rhizome. And chances are, that's where your most powerful learning is already happening.